He did a thing where Howie Roseman helped the Eagles get back to the playoffs. 7 moves that led to this successful turnaround. All right, welcome back to the show. And yes, I am feeling better today. Hopefully I sound a little bit better. The cough has been minimized. So sore throat, totally gone. So
I don't see at this point of things getting any better than what they are right now. So let's just ride with it. Let's flow with it. You know, man. As far as everybody being sick, let's pray that nobody passes away. But man, let's just get over with. Let's roll. Let's rock and roll, man.
I'm with you, man. That's where I've been for a while. I got to be honest. And life is a whole lot better since I haven't watched the news in 18 months.
I cannot believe you were insistent on not watching the news, man.
I don't need it. I realize I don't need it. I'm telling you, you don't need it in your life.
Have you lost any sleep over not watching the news?
Absolutely zero.
Exactly.
None.
The only thing I
all I care about is the weather.
Right, right. And that's because Monday, it yesterday actually shocked me that I woke up and it was snow.
Well, okay, I was going to ask you that because you're at that area where it was like kind of the cutoff area, I think, because we didn't get anything where I live. And down the shore, they got like inches of snow.
Yeah, I got 2 here.
You got 2, but down like Atlantic City, didn't they get like 6 or something?
Yes. I didn't get enough. I know down on my boat, like my captain, man, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony sent me a picture of his backyard up there because he has a house in Wildwood.
Right.
And he had like 6 inches, man.
Wow.
And it totally covered over, the deck. Everything on the deck had like 6 inches of snow on it.
Jeez.
So down here I only got like 2. And because it was like 50, 60 degrees the day before, it didn't really stick on like the concrete and stuff because the concrete was like warm. It didn't stick on that.
Right.
But it definitely did stick on but this morning, freezing.
Oh, dude. I went out to
freezing.
Tuesday morning's the day you got to put your trash and your recycling out where I live.
Uh-huh.
So I did it at like 5:30, 5:45 this morning. It felt like Green Bay.
Right.
Like I literally felt like I was a Green Bay Packer. And then I go in and checked. It was 18 degrees.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this morning I let the dogs out. And usually I let the dogs out. They go out there, play around a little bit, do their business, and then I bring them back in the house. They went out there, did their business, and came right back to the door. They were back in the door in less than 5 minutes, scratching at the door. I'm like, dang, so I opened it like, oh, that's why you guys want to come back in so fast.
Yeah.
They look at me like, no, we're not outside dogs, Pops. We are not outside dogs. Let us back in. I'm going back over to my bed and I'm laying down,
That's awesome. All right. Now I saw this here before we get into if the NFL, if this was their most thrilling regular season. Mike Kay from NJ.com does a great job covering the Eagles. Used to cover the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he's been up here for a couple years. And I think we've had him on the show in the past. He did a thing where Howie Roseman helped the Eagles get back to the playoffs. 7 moves that led to this successful turnaround. And I want to run this by you.
Yeah, run this by me.
All right. Number 1 is hiring Nick Sirianni. Now, to me, I thought this was more of a Lurie move than a Howie move, but maybe not. This move was an easy one to point out. Roseman and owner Jeffrey Lurie went the unconventional route to replace Peterson. And he goes in, Sirianni impressed Roseman and Lurie with his interview, and they were excited about the impressive young coaching staff that he could assemble. Then he goes on to say about his introductory press conference, which didn't go very well. The shaky 2-5 start spurred a complete rebuild of the offensive philosophy. And that's where he gets the credit for realizing, that what they were doing was absolutely not working.
Exactly.
And this quarterback really isn't a quarterback that really is a guy that you can ask to throw it 40, 45 times a game and win. So they went about and changed it. We all get now that they've won 4 straight games and a 7-2 start. and all that stuff. So now he's giving, Howie the credit for that. I always thought that was more of a Lurie move.
Well, it had to be a Lurie move because, the relationship between, Frank Reich and the Eagles,
Right.
that was kind of the relationship that kept, Doug above water.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the liaison between upstairs, the scouting and all that department, where Howie is at and all that stuff, and with the players, and he was like that bridge builder to all of that. So Jeffrey understood that. So
Right.
and because he understood that, he was going to bring somebody in that kind of fit that type of mold. So hence that's why we have Nick Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way they knew Nick Sirianni was going to be able to coach the way he's coaching right now.
No, I don't think so
There's
either.
no way.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. All right, number 2 is trading up for Devontae Smith. The Eagles knew that the Giants wanted Smith throughout the draft, and Roseman reached a deal with Dallas owner Jerry Jones to jump from 12 to 10 and take Smith in front of the Giants. Very shrewd move. It's turned out to be a very good move, although you could sit here and quibble and say, well, they could have taken, the defensive player, Micah Parsons. But,
right.
I mean, they needed a big play wide receiver. They had struck out on a couple, and they needed to hit it. So they got a guy, and he is a guy. He is the guy.
Definitely.
Can we agree on that?
I give them all credit for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I agree with one, not so much on the other. Doubling down on
that was a safe pick, though.
It was safe. Yeah,
that was a safe pick. He wasn't reaching his neck out to do it.
Right.
That was just a safe pick.
Doubling down on the 2020 moves. Now, this is where I got a little bit of an issue. 3 of the Eagles' most important players were acquired in 2020. Hurts, Darius Slay, and Jayvon Hargrave. He says Hargrave is among the league leaders in blah, 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 while Slay has 3 interceptions. He goes, there was a part here where he said, all right, where the Slay move was not all that well received. And I'm like, what? Like nobody criticized the Darius Slay acquisition that I can remember. Did they?
No.
And Hargrave was kind of one of those under the radar kind of moves that didn't really make a lot of waves either way.
Well,
when I remember it. Now he's had a great year.
Yes. He brought it on. He kicked it along the inning part of last year also. He was making that transition from being a 2-gap player to a 1-gap player. And what I mean by 2-gap player, he would, they line him up. He played the nose for the most part in that 3-4. They line him on the nose. He'd hit the nose and he'd be responsible for both A gaps. He played that well, but in this defense that, he's with Schwartz, and this defense he has here with Gannon, now he's just responsible for 1 gap. So he can get up the field, get in that 1 gap and sustain that gap. That's a totally different style of playing than what he was used to. So it took him a little while to learn how to get acclimated to that type of system.
Right.
So he didn't pick it up until like the last 6, 7 games of last year, where he really figured out, all right, this is how you play 1-gap defense.
Right.
Long story long, to this year, he's played, especially he was bananas the first 7, 8 games. He's starting to tail off a little bit, but this is where he can start, putting it together. Now, I didn't at the time think that, we should have spent that much money on a guy coming in with his skill set. I didn't know if that was a good move. Yeah, Hargrave. But hey, it's reaping the rewards now.
Yeah, he says here the team was criticized for all 3 transactions last year, and now they've all paid off. See, I don't remember a whole lot of flack about the Hargrave, and I definitely don't remember flack about Slay. I thought people were really happy with that move.
Right.
For the most part, right?
Well, we were very happy with that move because we didn't have a shutdown corner.
Yeah.
Period.
Now, the Hurts move, there was controversy there for obvious reasons. Because you thought you still had your franchise quarterback. What are you doing expending a 2nd-round pick on a quarterback that may have, for all intents and purposes, been a reach even there? Because a lot of people were thinking he wasn't that high
exactly
of a grade.
Ray had him at a 3rd round grade.
Third round, right? Okay,
Right. I had him a 2nd round. I had him at a second round grade,
right,
but I didn't have as a 2nd round grade to the Eagles.
right. So there
You know what
was
I'm saying?
but there was criticism about that.
Yes, there
That's
was.
fair.
Yes.
The other two I don't necessarily agree with. All right, and then he goes to the next one is taking a chance on Landon Dickerson. All right, now let's just look at this for a second.
Right.
Obviously, that was a controversial move because everybody wanted a cornerback
Or a safety. Yes.
or a safety. Right.
We needed both in the worst way.
Right. And the offensive line at that point looked sort of like a luxury pick.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And you took a guy that would have been a 1st round pick had he not had the injury history that he's had in college. And it's been extensive. If you go back and look at it, he's been hurt a lot.
And you can get an odd for that. Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
that's the reason why he wasn't a 1st round pick, because he just stayed hurt. But his production on the field, when he's on the field, there's no question he's every bit of a high 1st rounder. Not mid, but I'm talking about a high 1st rounder.
Right. He's like a Quentin Nelson kind of guy.
Yes.
Or a Zach Martin type
That's
of dude.
him in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That's him in a nutshell.
Yeah. But then, everybody says, oh, boy, here's another Sidney Jones situation. When it happened, 2nd round, injured player got him on the cheap, value pick. I didn't say on the cheap, but a value pick because of his injury. Now, he's had a great year.
Yep.
Let's hope that we're still saying that, in years 2, 3, and 4, that he can stay vertical. So in other words, this is still to be determined.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
good. Now the next one is signing Steven Nelson. I remember when it happened. This show, we loved it.
Well,
he was out there on the street. They had a need.
He was the number 1 prospect as far as in free agency with cornerbacks at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He was the number 1 corner, and I didn't think that there was a way in which we could get him.
Right.
So I'll give Howie credit for making that happen, because we are still under the thumb of Carson's contract right now. You know what I mean? That's $34 million.
Yeah, right.
And he was able to, I don't know, lowball Nelson or put Nelson in a position where he's under the cap, but he's still happy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I give credit to Howie, all the credit in the world for him being able to architect that deal and get him underneath the cap going into this season. Because that kind of threw a lot of the attention away from Landon Dickerson. Because, that's where we thought we should have gotten a corner. Because remember, Asante Samuel's still there, and he is balling right now for San Diego.
Yeah, he is.
He is balling.
Yeah, and of course they did get Zach McPherson in the 4th round, I believe.
In the 4th round,
right?
Who was actually great. He actually graded out everybody at his late 2nd, 3rd round type of pick from Texas Tech, former Penn State.
You're right. He says that Nelson's presence allows McPherson to ease into his role, which is true. And I had no issue with the Nelson move at all. The fact, I agree with you, we were surprised that he was able to pull it off. So credit to him. But he goes, unlike Eric Wilson and Ryan Kerrigan, who were abject free agency failures, Nelson has been a suitable stopgap starter.
Yes, well, and we're I cannot believe how bad he's played.
Who's that?
Know what I mean?
Kerrigan?
Kerrigan.
Yeah, he's been a no-show.
Kerrigan.
Yeah, so Wilson's not even on the team anymore.
Right.
Him
and Eric Wilson. I mean, we knew after the 2nd game.
Yeah,
there's no way. There was a reason why Minnesota just let him walk like that. Even after he led the team in interceptions and led the team in tackles, we understand why they let him go, because those tackles were 10 yards down the field, 12 yards down the field.
Now the next one is bringing back Jordan Howard. To me, this is a no-brainer. He didn't receive any interest in free agency. The one thing that I was flustered about, and we talked about it as it was happening, is why is he on the practice squad?
Right.
You know what I mean?
We didn't know.
But I mean, really, what was a good reason?
Well, there wasn't one. I mean, it was all about helping the rookie. get his snaps, see where he fit in at the offense, see if they could get him going in the right direction. I think that was the big thing, why he was, basically, on the practice squad. Because, we didn't know anything about Kenneth Gainwell at all.
Right.
He hadn't played, the year before. So we really didn't have any tape of him the year before. Mm-hmm. They took a chance on drafting him. Because remember, he sat out the COVID year. He didn't play. He gets drafted. We didn't know what he brought to the table. He's a little undersized. We didn't know if he fit in what, an NFL running back could be. Because he started out as a receiver. He spent more time at the slot than he did at running back.
Mm-hmm. Gainwell.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell, yeah. So, the jury's still out on that.
Kind of like Gibson with Washington.
Right, exactly.
And he was at Memphis too, and he was more of a receiver than he was a running back.
That's because of Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah.
Gainwell beat him out at running back. So
I like Gibson too.
He's a good. I like him. He's a big guy too.
He's tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still don't know what he is though. Do you know what Kenneth Gainwell is? I don't know.
No, I don't. I guess we're going to see a lot of him this week, so maybe we'll find out some more stuff.
Right.
All right, the final one is trading for Gardner Minshew, trading away Joe Flacco. Great move. 6th round pick.
Right.
You got a win out of it.
Right.
We got the Top Gun deal.
What'd you say?
I mean, come on, man.
Even though he went to the coach, said, "Hey, what can I do to start?"
Right. I like that though. I mean,
you gotta
can't blame him.
You gotta have some brass ones to do it. You have to go out there and do it. And like I said, I was in that position my last 4 years of my career. I went in, talking to Coward. Hey, Coward, you ain't even kissed me, man.
Right.
You can at least kiss me. You just put me on the wet side of the bed. Come on now, man. You brought me in for a reason. He said, "Yeah, I brought you in a reason. I brought you in so you could back up." But coach, I'm better than him right now. Yes, you are better than him right now. But he's my future porch out. He's my future.
Who is this guy we were talking about?
This is my boy. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. That's my boy too.
Cologne?
No, not Willie Cologne. It was Max Starks.
Oh, Starks. Okay.
Max Starks.
Yeah.
So I was like, come on. At time, I'm better than he is right now. He's young. I'm ready to play. I want you to mold him.
Yeah.
I said, come on, coach. You want me to take and make him into a player, and then I'm out of here. He said, no. I know what I'm asking you. He said, I know what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to make Max Stark good enough to play. And I'm not letting you go. Even when he does get ready to play, I'm not going to let you go. You have more to me. You have more worth to me than you realize. But I need you to get him ready. I got him ready.
Mm-hmm.
It elongated my career 2 more years too, because I got Max ready to play. Max ended up starting, but I ended up being a backup for 2 more years in the league.
Right.
When I probably should have been cut, but he kept me around 2 more years because that's what type of dude he was.
Nice.
He made a promise to me. He fulfilled that promise, so I fulfilled my promise. Got him better, got him up to playing, and from that point on, what I'm saying, I stayed where I was in Pittsburgh. I was just a backup guy, but you got to know your role, man. And,
right.
And I think
that's what the Rock says.
Right. You got to know your role. And Gardner Minshew, he's going to prepare like a starter, but he doesn't want to be on the bench. So he's going to want to go somewhere where he can compete for the starting lineup. Those positions are few and far between, though.
Now, you were there with Willie Cologne too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you crossed over a couple years.
I did the same thing for him. So after I groomed Starks, I had to groom him, Willie Cologne, and Trey Essex. Both of those guys. Willie Cologne and Trey Essex.
Willie Cologne, he does radio now. Do you know that?
Yeah, I think he works for Barstool or something, doesn't he?
Now, well, he might have, but now he's on Sirius XM's Mad Dog Sports Radio on the morning show with the Morning Men.
Oh, get out of here. He's really stepped up.
Yeah.
He's making that big money.
Yep.
That big money.
Yeah.
Hey, our turn is next, bro. Our turn is next. We're gonna get JAKIB Media up there. We're gonna make the big money.
I think my window's closed, Barrett.
No, bro, this is
closed.
We're just like was it Shannon Sharp and what's his name?
Oh, Bayless?
Skip and Shannon.
Oh, jeez.
this is Harry and Barrett.
Oh my God. All right. Speaking of Cower, apparently Cower was a guest of the Manning cast last night.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I saw little clips of it.
Okay.
And I loved it. Did you see a little sliver of B Brooks in there? You saw Pork Chop in there?
I didn't
Number
watch
72?
it.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta watch, well, at least watch ESPN. And when they do a little episode of the rerun of the Manning cast,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about, games, most exciting games he played in, and Cowher said that game that we played in the Colts. Not Eli, but Peyton's game where we beat him, and Big Ben, and we're talking about
Ben
Big
made
Ben.
the tackle?
Yeah, so they showed Ben making the tackle.
Okay.
And
I
right
remember
at the very
that
end,
game.
before they go off, they show 72 jogging into place. You see Brooks on the back of my jersey. I'm jogging into place like, man, that was close. Dang. You know what I'm saying? I was running behind the play because I was on the field when it happened.
Wow.
I couldn't believe he did that. But, a lot of people don't know that cornerback Harper, he didn't even start. He was a starter, but he didn't start the game. You know why he didn't start the game?
No.
His wife, the night before this game, cut his knee. A domestic dispute, cut his knee wide open.
Oh my God.
So
really?
They sewed it up, and he didn't start the game, but he played a couple plays in the game.
Oh my God.
And he was on the field for that play.
A domestic dispute?
Yes. So of course, I felt obligated to, send his wife probably, a little bit of my signing bonus, or not my signing bonus, but my Super Bowl check because of her. Ben was able to make that game-saving stop. So he probably just outran him if it wasn't for that, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he had a blown tire, bro, because his wife.
Jeez.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, speaking of blown tires, did you see, I saw this morning on Twitter that there was apparently a traffic jam in Virginia yesterday in the snow because of some big accident happened. And it's a mess between like DC and Richmond anyway. Even on good days, that's awful. So it's one of the worst stretches of traffic in the country.
You can literally be there for what would take you 20 minutes to drive through. You could literally be there for 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah, well, people were stuck there for 15 hours or something in the snow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if you didn't have any gas, man?
People were running out of gas. Yeah, it was. Can you imagine that?
No, that's crazy.
Trapped in your car.
And that happens on a regular, on that stretch of highway. You have to make sure that your gas tank is full when you get to that stretch of highway. I remember I was doing a James Madison game.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Yeah, so I had to drive to Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Yeah,
so
that's right off 81. That's right off 81.
It's beautiful out there too, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful. But on my way down there, I get the traffic, and I always leave like the day before. So I'm on my way down there. It literally took me 2.5 hours to go, maybe 10, 15 miles. 2.5 hours, bro.
Really?
I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure you got all your gas, you know what I'm saying, and ready to, you might have to pack a lunch.
Right.
Have waters in your car, all that, you know what I mean? Because it's just bad traffic right there all the time.
Yeah, that's I remember, I've gone through that place, that stretch a lot.
Look, 91 LS Extra said, what if you were trapped in the car with Martinez?
Yeah, you'd need like a big jug for his bladder.
Plus, you'd have to be infused, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You need a pineapple rum for that. Vodka for that, bro.
Oh, man. I don't even know if vodka's enough. Jeez.
That is my dude, man.
Oh.
That is my dude. And I have to give it to him, man. That F1 racing.
Yeah.
That's I've watched it like 3 times now.
What, the reality show?
Yeah, I've watched it like 3 times now. Love it. Love it.
I need more like dialogue.
I don't want to hear people talk.
Yeah, it's too much. It's just about, the cars racing. Like,
see, that's what I'm all about.
I know. But
I'm all about all the, mechanics of everything, racing theories, drafting, all that stuff. I geek out on, bro.
Yeah.
I geek out on all that.
Yeah. I need a little dialogue.
Renault, and their motors, how their motors were messing up. Then they turn around and Red Bull goes and get a Honda motor. And ever since this Honda motor, they have been blowing everybody out. You know, I love all that stuff.
Is that right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I need Aaron Sorkin to, like, you know, throw in some dialogue for that show. It makes it a whole lot better for
Got
me.
McLaren, Mercedes, you know, all that I love all that stuff, man. I mean, that gets me geeked up, man. I don't even worry about the drivers. I like to worry about the cars.
So he's the one who turned you on to that show. You didn't even know about it before?
I didn't know about that show. I watched F1 racing, but I did not know about the show. It gave me a great perspective, really, on F1 racing now. So I'm back tied into. I usually be like a fair weather fan. I see it as on.
Did you see that?
What's
Your brother is on the chat. There it is. Philip Brooks checking in. Barrett, Cleveland will take Minshew. What was the other one you put up? Splitsburg still stinks or something like that.
Wait a minute. Where is he at?
There it is. Splitsburg still sucks, just like Baker.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I knew he was going to.
He is active.
I told you my mom was going to tell.
He is angry.
And that's exactly why I'm buying my niece a Super Bowl jersey with Steelers on it, Super Bowl XL for my niece.
Oh,
man. And you have to. Every time they lose, you have to wear the jersey. She has to wear it. When they lose, when they lose to the Steelers, she has to wear that jersey.
Now the Steelers play the Ravens this Sunday.
Yes,
with an outside chance, I guess, for both teams, they possibly could make it, but they need a lot of help.
A whole lot of help.
A whole lot.
Indianapolis out of there.
Yeah, right. You think about it, we'll get into that in the other side, because there's a whole bunch of teams that still technically have a chance in the AFC, which will make Sunday interesting. Since we don't have Eagles football on Sunday, and the Saturday game is really turning into something that
they are pissed right now that they moved this game to 8:00 on Saturday, and nobody's going to be playing it.
Nobody's going to be playing it. Well, see, that's the other thing. It's not their fault,
right?
It's the NFL's fault, and the NFL needs to change this. They need to stop putting these games, these rivalry games, at the last week because of this fact.
Exactly.
Move it. Like, this is when the Eagles should be playing the Jets. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, this game.
Like, how many times have we had an Eagles-Cowboys game in the final game, whether it's week 17 or week 18? I don't give a shit. Where one team doesn't play their starters, at least. It's meaningless for the fans.
Well, you look but see, you got to look at the same thing what happened last year. You know, Washington ends up getting to the playoffs because the Eagles rest.
They laid down against the Giants.
Yeah, they rest Hurst in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You know, and the Giants were still pissed about that.
Yeah, good. Good. Screw that Joe Judge. He's an idiot.
I don't think he makes it through, man.
Did you hear he's out here. He went on some 11-minute diatribe in his post-game press conference on Sunday after they got shellacked by the Bears? Like, he was like, you got to go back and listen to it. He's whacked, that guy. He's whacked. I know he's from the local area.
Right.
He's whacked. All right, we'll be back with the final half hour on